Are you seeing what's happening? And it has been happening, but most people are missing it entirely. Just like most people missed Apple stock when the company was new. They missed buying Google stock at the IPO. They miss every major move time and time again because they just can't look deeper and understand what is happening. They think there was this mystical, lucky opportunity where you could just see the future, where you just happen to buy. And there's no luck associated with those that are making the right choices right now. And most aren't. But let me break it down pretty simply. Crypto goes crazy every 4 years. The last crazy cycle was 2021, and before that, 2017, and before that, 2014. Now, I know many are saying that this time is different, and they are as wrong as those that said that in early 2021 and early 2017. 2025 is going to be massively huge for crypto, and you can see this setup in the chain reactions that are starting already. Now, I thought when I started this channel, if I could just show people how to find undervalued projects, they would become absolutely rich through crypto. And yes, that helps, but it's an incomplete part of why those who become massively rich become massively rich. And it starts before finding the good deals. And here's where it starts. First of all, belief that if you do the right things and approach this the right way, that it will work out for you. And it's funny how some people don't let that belief really sink in. And so halfway through this journey, they actually reverse all the things that they've been doing and reverse all the good they did, and they didn't let it play out. The second part is understanding timing. Timing is so critical. So right now we do have this little brief period of time. It's not as good as it was 2 weeks ago when everyone was freaking out that, oh my gosh, trade wars and Trump's going to ruin the world and every country is going to be massively increasing their tariffs and nothing's going to work, and crypto got punished uniquely to a price that is so absurdly low, specifically altcoins, so close to when the major gains are going to be made, that create a unique opportunity. Now, that unique opportunity is still here, and I know some of you are taking advantage of it, and most aren't. They're just not ready to change their own lives financially because they can't see it yet. Now, I say they can't see it yet. The truth is most will never see it. Some are listening to this video right now and you're not ready to make these decisions yet or make these moves yet because your belief isn't there that if you take the right actions, they can lead to the right results. And that's okay. You're going to do what many have done that I've worked with in the past 25 years, is they miss out. And what's funny is when you miss out massively once, but you are paying close attention, you never let that happen again. Now, some of you have already missed out on crypto in the past while you were watching it happen. And so you're already ready. You're already taking the right actions. You're then ready to find the undervalued deals because you understand timing. You understand that things are low and that is the time to buy, not when things are already really high. And then you're buying high, hoping to make even more money. With timing, it's literally about buying low and selling high. I know it sounds so simple, and everyone thinks that, yes, they're going to do that, but that isn't what most people do, because when you're buying low, it's like running into a burning building. And if you're looking around, seeing where everyone is running the other way. But the small percentage of people that really get what's going on, and they're just doing their own thing. They won't even necessarily stop to talk to you about it. They will just go do it. And so it seems like everyone is running away. Why the hell would you move in? Well, because in order to make good gains, you have to buy low and sell high. Now, that doesn't mean just buy anything when it's low. And this is where part 3 comes in, finding undervalued deals. And that is part of the equation, but it's only a fraction of this equation. Understanding timing is as important as finding undervalued deals. So when you are buying low, oh my gosh, everyone else is running away. That's a good sign. And when you're selling high is when everyone is trying to FOMO in. And it's going to feel awkward the first time you're selling when it's so high. A lot of people will be telling you you're doing things wrong. And you're actually doing things wrong, right? So buy low, sell high. So finding undervalued deals, well, that's a key part of it. And I do in this channel cover the undervalued deals that I like. I haven't done a bunch of specific videos on that in a while because the deals haven't changed. Some people think that they have to scour and scour and scour and find the top, very best deals out there all the time. Maybe. But look, if you're finding a new gem every week, where are you getting the money to buy that unless you're selling something else you had that was the gem from 3 weeks ago or the gem from 3 months ago? The way I found that most people that make it rich in crypto, what they do, and you know what? This is what I did over 2018, 2019, and 2020 that changed my life financially and made me millions of dollars in 2021 was buying good projects when they were down, and sometimes they'd go down more, and then I would buy more. You don't have to have 100 different undervalued altcoins. If you're diversified across 15 good solid projects, sometimes 5 or 10 good solid projects, awesome. Especially if the percent chance that those are going to work out is really high. And the gains, if they do work out because the price is so devastatingly low, that the potential gains are so high, if it does go right, well, those are good picks. You don't need a new pick every week. You don't need new research all the time. In fact, a lot of the work that I've done for this coming bull run, it's already done. I already have my favorites, and I have a number of them. Ones that I'm really excited about that I found during this bear market were doing all the right things that I've just continued to accumulate more during this bear market. Now, I'm in the same table as most of you, though I did make life-changing wealth in 2021. I redeployed all that capital during the bear market. Why wouldn't I? Instead of spending it, buying Lamborghinis and buying showy stuff, it's all back in there. Why would I do that? Well, because I know what is coming, and it's going to make future millionaires and future billionaires. Why wouldn't I be putting all my own money where my mouth is? Like, I don't think that this is going to happen. This is what's going to happen. And most are going to totally miss it. Many will watch this video a year from now and you'll have missed it. That's okay. Will there come another bear market after this? Yes. And it will be hard to buy then too. Why? Because crypto will have been punished severely for a year, 2 years before it's really a good time to buy again. And by then, everyone's fleeing the burning building again. And that's just time to start accumulating again. And I do think it will happen again because I think what is setting up is going to be so massive that the pendulum is going to swing too far one direction. I think we're going to have a super cycle this time. And if we do, that pendulum is going to swing too far that direction. What goes up massively, it does come down massively. And I think that's what we're heading for. Let me jump into the comments. Good to see you all here. Kevin, good to see you from Lakeland, Florida. Chris, great to see you. Chris is responsible, does all our timestamps on our Wednesday videos with Paul. Thank you so much, Chris, for doing that. We really appreciate it. Let's go. Smash the like. What's up, fam? Yo. Hello, Rainmakers. I'm excited for so many of you. I know you've been doing good actions, amazing actions during the bear market. And the rewards are coming, but a lot of people, well, they aren't making the right decisions. Now, even if you've been doing the right things, there's another step that's really critical to really making millions. And then later, even more than that, from crypto gains. And that's what I call number 4, which is the patience to let the timing play out. So those that are always looking for the next thing to roll their money into, well, where are they getting that money? Now, if the answer to that is they're just continuing to dollar cost average during the bear market, that's a totally acceptable response. But if they're getting that by where they're usually getting that money is they're selling something that's down that they believed in 4 months ago to buy usually something that's up, like the new hot thing. That just works out terribly, terribly. Because if you're buying what's hot, it's no longer cheap. And you're doing the opposite of doing what you're doing. If the project you were looking at 4 months ago really is a substantively good project, that doesn't mean it's necessarily going to pop off until the bull run is in full swing. So if it's done nothing but go down, it's entering an even better buy zone, and yet you're selling at that price. That is what most people do in crypto, and it is a disaster, a mistake. The people that I know that have made millions, tens of millions, and billions through crypto, they don't do that. So I know if you're in this audience, you probably aren't doing that. But if you are doing that, watch how it works out for you. It's not going to be pretty over time. And some of those things, if they were well-researched projects, will later take off, and you will rue the day that you sold those low to buy something that was high. And now what was once way low like that has gone up massively. Anyone see DevStream stock? I have not seen it. Wow, it tripled today. That's crazy. Really crazy. Good to know. Yeah. So, I mean, there's lots of good picks. Like, if you follow my channel, you know there's a lot I believe in. Bitcoin overall, we had this massive run up and then a quick wick down. I do think a massive short squeeze is setting up. That I think there will be a massive short squeeze. That people will start to get liquidated as the price climbs really, really high and they have some shorts, and they will have to cash in those shorts, which will drive the price higher. And then other shorts will have to cover their shorts, which will drive the price further higher, and we will get a massive squeeze. And that's going to really kick off the super cycle, because I think that creates some momentum that gets us to what normally would be the top of the Bitcoin chart, which would be 150 to 180 this cycle. And it starts to get us above that. And then that's just going to mean all hell breaks loose towards Bitcoin going higher. And then that will follow into the altcoins. Now, I'm not positioned in Bitcoin. Why? Because say it does go 2.5x from here and goes to 250,000. That's great. 2.5x over, say, the next 6 months, maybe the next 12 months. That's better than most stocks will perform. But that's nothing compared to what altcoins can do. What am I in? Well, if you follow this channel for a while, you know most of what I'm in. One is DevvExchange. And DevvExchange, this is a beautiful chart setting up. Now, a lot of this pressure was created by pre-sale investors selling. Many were in profit still at these numbers and able to sell still to profit as it came down, reached amazing prices. Then it went all the way up as they teased that they have a partnership with one of the largest stock exchanges in the world to develop a blockchain integration with a new exchange model. And they haven't announced who that was. Well, you know, as the announcement was anticipated to come in January, and it hasn't yet. It's created this good return back to some newer lows. That created a good buying opportunity for those looking to load up on undervalued gems. Now, I consider this an undervalued gem. I'm very heavy on DevvExchange myself. I love it, and I love it at these prices. Its market cap is totally wrong here. So, oh, there it is, 54 million. That's correct. I was thinking it was saying something here, but $54 million market cap for a layer 1 blockchain that can do 8 million transactions per second. Massively, massively undiscovered project that most crypto space is completely unaware of. And I love this one. Another one that I really love is DFINITY. And DFINITY, you see its prices here. And the bear market has been severely punished, which is what I love. I like to buy low and sell high. And its price has been so cheap. Let me show you what the market cap on it is. All right. So no market cap showing on CoinMarketCap. I think it shows on CoinGecko, but it's just slightly under this fully diluted value. So it's saying the fully diluted value is 5.37 million for DeFi. I think it's like 4.7 or 4.8 million is the current market cap. So there's some more tokens that will come into circulation later. But I like this price action. It launched pretty high back in 2021. The bear market totally punished the price. And it's got this really solid resistance line or support line. And it's just setting up for the bull market. Now, in a bull market, a project like this can go to hundreds of millions of dollars in market cap, like a $500 million market cap, which would take it to 100x from here. It could go into the billions of dollars market cap. If it goes to a $5 billion market cap, that is 1,000x from here. Now, I have videos in the past where I go into DevvE a lot more specifically. I go into DeFi a lot more specifically. Check out those videos on why I believe in them so much, because I go way deeper there. These are just some of my picks. Do note that DeFi is a strategic partner, and so is WanChain. And I think WanChain as well is criminally undervalued. It's so low priced. And I think the right things are coming together. That, well, DeFi and the DeFi narrative goes crazy this run. It did have a crazy run in 2020, July 2020. It ran somewhat in 2021, but not as big as I think it could have, because the Biden administration was very, very averse to DeFi. They want it all to be through systems that they control. I think the Trump administration is way more friendly to DeFi, and I think DeFi has an abnormally large boom coming up. And both WanChain and DeFi are strongly within the DeFi narratives. Now, DevvE is also in the DeFi narrative, as well as the traditional finance, meaning decentralized finance. It's also going to benefit from that narrative. But those aren't, decentralized finance is not the only narrative I believe in. So I wanted to share another one that I believe in, and that is Ecomi. And people are looking at Ecomi, and this is what it did from the bear market into the bull market. And it went about 3,000x, though you can't really see it. When I take off the log scale, you see what enormous boom this was. And then since then, on average, it's done nothing but go down. Part of the reason it's so undervalued is people look to the left and the right, and they really only see selling going on. They're like, well, everybody's selling. Ecomi must be dead. Omi must be dead. And they couldn't be more wrong on that. In fact, what did I tell you? Most of the time when you're buying low, it looks like everyone is running from the burning building. This is that example. This is the perfect example of that. And look, some of you aren't ready to buy this. That's okay. You're going to see that I'm right on this, and that I'm very right on this. And you're going to think back to this video and other videos I made, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, missed opportunities. Now, my channel was brand new in December of 2020, and I was sharing some undervalued projects. And what's funny is what some of the viewers totally missed was this idea of timing. I covered this one project, and it was trading at like a penny and a half. And I was like, I think this one will do really, really well. Well, 9 months later, or 6 months later even, it was trading at like $2.25. And I would see new messages come in on that video. They'd be like, yes, I'm so excited. I just bought in. I was like, okay, one of two things. Like, did I not explain that it was a good deal at 1.5 cents? Because I'm pretty sure I did, because that's where the value was. The value was in buying low at a penny and a half, not $2.25. For a second, the person just didn't have the ability to understand that buying low is such a critical component of making gains in crypto. Did whoever bought it 225 do well? No, they did terribly well. And I even messaged him after that. Was like, bro, didn't you see that I was covering this at $0.015? It's now 225. You're in an extremely risky position here, buying so high, hoping it just goes higher. But my channel was so new then, my audience was small, and so I didn't have as much reach. What I am excited about is, well, so many of you are understanding these concepts. You're well positioned so that you're already been buying low. So when it goes high, you're in the right position to then be taking profits when all those other people are FOMOing in. Now, I hope they find this channel. One of the challenges of covering undervalued gems is you're covering tokens that nobody is searching for. So the YouTube algorithm completely punishes your videos. Why? Because everyone thinks I want undervalued gems, but what videos do they search out? Whatever thing has just gone 10x or 20x or 30x. That's what they search out. So when did everyone search out Doge back in 2021? When it was at 72 cents. It wasn't a good deal at 72 cents, but that's when everyone was searching for it. And they wanted to see videos on what an amazing thing it was and how it just go up for forever. And if you made videos on Dogecoin then, and you told people optimistically why you thought you'd do well, number one, you'd get so many views and everyone would share it to their friends. Number two, you would wreck your audience. I mean, ultimately, it's their decision whether to buy or not. But yeah. Now, I don't believe in meme coins in general. I never covered Doge. I did own it back in 2018, 2019 when I was new. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even know what a meme coin was. But yeah. So like Axie Infinity, one of my big gainers, I made incredible money on it. But I remember, like, if I had wanted to go a really huge channel, I could have covered it when everybody was buying and yet I was selling. But why would I be covering it as a good buy when it's sell time? Remember that factor of timing. So there is a problem with creating the content that will make people rich. Is it's not what people are really searching for. You think people would think buy low so I can sell high. They think that, but that's not what their actions take them to do. They do the opposite. You must be crazy. How can you be buying OMI right now? Haven't you heard all the FUD? Thank you, Abe. I know Abe's a gem of a community member, and he's just being sarcastic here. But what's funny is there are so many people that think this way, exactly like that. And that's just what he's illustrating. This is exactly what buying low looks like. And so many people can't do it because they look to the left and the right and they figure everyone else knows what's going on with crypto. And this guy, Crypto Rain, must not know what he's doing because everyone else is saying, OMI is totally terrible to buy right now. They don't realize they think that they're being smart by following the crowd. And all they're doing is they're running right off of cliffs with the crowd because the crowd always goes off the cliff. 89% of people that invest in crypto make no money or lose money. 89%. Think about how big that number is. That is the masses. So if you're looking to the left and right and everyone's telling you you're on the right track, should tell you you're heading for the cliff because you are. Just is what it is. Is it dumb money? Yeah, pretty much. It's dumb money. And they're just new. And you're always bad before you're good. But boy, take the time to get good at this. What else is there that's going to absolutely change your life? Braulio. I like that name. What's going on, brother? Good to have you here. Now, if you haven't already taken my Zero to Crypto Hero course, well, here's a quick commercial on it. And then let's talk some more about really making millions and then billions, or at least the right actions that will take you that potential in the coming months and the coming years. You are right. Crypto is the most exciting technology since the invention of the internet. Investing in crypto can make you massive gains, but were you aware that most people in crypto have mediocre to bad results? There are 5 things to avoid doing wrong and 3 things to make sure you are doing right, or crypto is not going to go for you like you want it to go. I've been in the crypto space for 7 years, and I've seen what most do that do it wrong. And I've also seen what most do that are massively successful in crypto and what they are doing differently. Now, I was able to retire in 2021 after just 4 years because of crypto. And I want to show you how you can make that happen for you too. Now, take my Zero to Crypto Hero course if you want to be part of the 5% of people that make life-changing wealth from crypto. All right, so there's a link to that below. There is a discount code. If you haven't taken it already, look, if you've been watching 3 years of videos with me, well, you've accumulated most of the knowledge you'd get from that course. There's probably a little bit extra that would be beneficial there, but no, if you don't have a lot of money, like, you can just go back and watch. I would recommend 2022 and on, because I learned some very valuable lessons through 2021, even though it was life-changing to me. And I made some incredible gains because of the actions that I took over the bear market of 2018, 2019, 2020. There were some additional lessons I learned in 2021 about, well, projects that come out or launch during the year of the massive bull run. And I hadn't really absorbed that. Yes, I was around in 2017. I guess I really absorbed those lessons in 2021. And by later 2022, I understood those principles. So 2022 and on is when I'd really say you'll get the best content on my videos. Now, some of the videos are just looking at price action, but a lot of the videos that go over the core concepts of how to become a millionaire through crypto, those are the ones you want to watch, because a lot of this really is a mental game. And I realized, it's like, why did I do the right things, most of the right things naturally, that so many people do things wrong? Well, because I had this crazy belief that if I could just break down and understand crypto, I could find the right actions to take, the right patterns that I'm looking for. And of course, I'd be rich in it. Why wouldn't I? You know, some of you have a hard time believing that you'll actually be rich, and you will sabotage that. I hope you don't. I hope I'm wrong on that. But I know that actually getting rich is a lot of times mental, and that we have to believe that we will be, that we can be, or we will sabotage it. We will literally grab defeat right in the middle of what would have been victory. And it's funny how that plays out, but it does. So I've seen some people, like, I know some people that were involved in the pre-sale of Ecomi back in like 2018, and they literally sold their OMI tokens right before the bull run. So they had weathered most of the bear market, and right like 2 or 3 months before the bull run, when OMI went like 3,000x, they sold their OMI. Like, what the hell? What the hell? But they literally snatched defeat right from the jaws of victory. Like, they were about to have a massive victory, and they sabotaged it. Crazy that happens, but it does. Some of the other ways that you're going to have massive success in this is I have a private Patreon group that gives you access to the private Discord. You're crazy if you don't join that. Why? Well, right now it's $20 a month for the basic package. There are upgraded packages, but $20 a month gives you access to a community who thinks this way. And the best way to really, I guess, insulate yourself from the general 90%, almost 90%, they're going to run off the cliff, is surround yourself with people that are contrarian thinkers, that really understand the buy low, sell high principle, so that you have some people to network with that aren't part of the masses that are doing everything wrong. And for $20 a month, it's ridiculous if you don't do it. It is absolutely ridiculous. But you do you. I'm just saying, I created this community because I wanted something like this so bad. I joined a few different communities. One I paid $1,000 for, another one I paid like $2,500 for. And they were filled with people that thought all the wrong ways. And I was like disappointed because I wanted something like the community that we've created. And I realized I'm just going to have to create it. What I have found is my message attracts the right kind of people anyway. So that does most of the filtering because I'm not covering things when they're massively up, when general masses are watching them. And I'm usually covering people that really attracted to figuring out how to become a millionaire through this. They realize there's some potential in crypto and they're dialing into, yes, I really want to turn this into my opportunity that I don't miss. It's almost somewhat self-selecting. Those are the people that gravitate towards my videos, towards my audience, and towards the Discord. And so that helps. So you are surrounding yourself with like-minded people that, for the most part, already think the same way, and they're amplifying their knowledge and understanding. Now, most of my audience is newer to crypto, starting in 2021, so this will be their first bull run that they're well prepared for, and looking forward to how that goes. It's going to be an exciting time. All right, let me see if there's any further questions, and we can wrap up. Yeah. You have to stick with your selected projects. Key principle to making millions of dollars. Everyone I know that made millions of dollars in crypto, they stuck with their selected projects because otherwise they would have washed out and they would not. I know some people that wash out every time. There are some people I know that had a YouTube channel when I was new in crypto in 2017, and they still aren't rich from crypto. They talk about investment all the time. And they're good at selecting projects. But you know what they do wrong? They don't stick with their selected projects. They don't ride out the low sentiment. They panic out and they sell and they roll that money into something else. So they're constantly selling low and buying something higher. And they've been in crypto for like 9 years. What the are you doing wrong being in crypto for 9 years and not being worth millions of dollars? You're doing it wrong. So don't think that if you're just in crypto for 9 years, you will be rich. If you're in crypto for 9 years, you've been doing the right things, you're going to be massively rich. The key is learning to do the right things. Any word on Super? Super like Elio Trades project? No. I don't follow that one that close. What are your favorite gaming projects? It's out of the narrative right now. Great question, Abe. Blockchain gaming, massively out of the narrative right now. It is the most amazing time to be buying blockchain gaming projects. And a lot of the projects that I love are still the same ones that I loved a year and a half ago, which is, I guess in order, I would say I like where the Senate token is, like CEDIS and Senate. They're same project, 2 tokens. I think it's been absurdly punished, but they have enough traction that they just continue to survive till blockchain gaming hits. I think they go massively. I love Illuvium. Illuvium's gone up a bunch, like 40% up from its lows that it was just at, which I talked about it a week and a half ago, and it hit these crazy numbers. I was like, this is an amazing price. It's still an amazing price. I mean, it hit such low numbers. It's crazy. But this is what happens when things hit outside the narrative. So I don't follow Super, but blockchain gaming is out of the narrative. So even though Super isn't one that I would buy, it's going to make great gains because it's in the blockchain gaming space, has enough connections that it'll do well on the bull run. And so like timing is good even on Super. Like, is Super going to do well? Yeah, I'm sure it is. Is it one that I buy? No, but that doesn't mean like I focus mostly on about 15 or 20 projects. If I open that to about 50 projects, Super would definitely be in there. Play that rap, man. We will be doing that. So don't think I don't like Super. I do like Super. It's just not one of like my top ones. Illuvium. There's another one called Fios, which is related to DevvE and their Litcraft ecosystem. There's specific use cases for Fios that are very, very special. I think Fios is going to be a massive winner. But I have so much DevvE that I don't own any Fios because if one does well, the other one does well. And DevvE is one of my largest holdings in all of crypto. So it's like, what am I going to sell DevvE to buy Fios? They're like the same thing. And I think Fios's market cap is criminally undervalued, but so is DevvE by even more. So it doesn't make sense to sell some DevvE and buy some Fios. Yeah. Cool. All right, guys. Any further questions before I wrap up? That was a great question. I mean, what other blockchain gaming projects? I've been playing off the grid because you can earn stuff. I wouldn't be buying their token right now, their guns tokens. It's too iffy. Like, will they do well into the bull run? Probably. I just like things that have been 2 to 5 years old that have been punished by the bear market. And I know their token is really, really good price. Guns is too early. Yes, it's come down from when it launched. Might it do well into the coming bull run? Yeah, I think, what are the chances it does 100% gains from here? Like 100x gains from here? I have no idea with where the guns tokens are at. I don't even know how to, like, I couldn't give it a percent chance because it's just such a risky play. There's not enough track record on it. Things like Illuvium are much more interesting to me. Senate and Cetus, Fios. I don't know. These are just off the top of my head. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So do be careful in the comments, and even in here, like, there's always scammers that find and they put in the comments, like, they'll put in like 15 comments about some random token that you've never heard of before doing a pre-sale. Anything doing a pre-sale right now, 100% is a scam. If they're offering for you to get into the ICO or the pre-sale, like on comments in the YouTube thing, it is 100% a scam. Just like this comment in here about XIA, whatever ones, 100% scam. So, and there are comments in every video, and they just change like the names of the different things, and they even reuse the websites and just like change the names, and they're just trying to scam people. All right. What would probably do better overall, collectibles or OMI? Overall, I think OMI does much better than collectibles. That's why really OMI is my homie. Like, why I put so much effort into covering OMI, because it's the better value. Now, some of the VV collectibles will do incredible, and some of them will do well. Which ones will do incredible? I wish I had a better understanding of exactly which ones would do absolutely incredible, or I would probably tell you collectibles, but it's hard to know. Like, some might do 1,000x from here, and some might do a 15x from here. And so if you average that out, who knows? There'd only be a couple that do 1,000x from here. And, you know, and then hundreds and thousands of them that just do like a 15x from here. So on average, I think OMI is going to outperform the average of collectibles by a lot. That's why I've been covering it. Illuvium, Copy. Thank you, Sale, for bringing up Cornucopias. Yes, I think Cornucopias is a really hot, undervalued game. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I've had them on a number of times. I love what Cornucopias is doing. Their team is good. Their game is coming. I do think it's one of the first kind of, I know they're not selling it as a metaverse, but the way I think true metaverses come about is by a game that's compelling enough that people play it, that is an MMORPG that really becomes a metaverse. Because the problem with trying to build a metaverse first and then games later is a really important game loop is the harder part to develop. The metaverse isn't. So build a really good game loop within an MMORPG, and by default, you kind of have a metaverse already, and then just expand your ability to have more people on the servers at a time, and bam, your first metaverse. And I think Cornucopias might be that. Purple Llama, you're exactly right. Bump seems to be in a very low flow state. Any alpha about them? No, other than they're in a really low flow, risky state. I mean, there's a lot of projects that were like this in 2020 and early 2021. The bull market hit and it saved them from the brink of disaster. And they were smart enough to go into a low flow state so that they could just wait it out. I like to think of it as, if you're in certain areas like Australia, certain areas where they have crocodiles, but yet the rivers freeze over, you sometimes can be walking through a river that's frozen over, and you see this little crocodile snout sticking out of the ice. And you think that crocodile is dead, but it's not dead. It's just gone into a low flow state. What happens is as spring comes and things melt, the crocodile comes right back alive. And then all of a sudden you realize it was just in a low flow state. Everything's fine. And hopefully that's exactly what happens with Bumper. They've been smart, like really good team. I really like what they've done. I really want to see their project successful, not just because I have tons invested in their project, because I believe in what they're doing. What they're doing is going to be transformational if they survive. In early stage business investing, really, you're looking for good ideas, a good team, and you're hoping it survives long enough to get traction and take off. And I hope that's the case. We don't know that that's the case. If you had 10K to invest, would you still diversify into 15 projects or go all in on? I probably go in between 5 projects right now. Penguin Colada. I like it with the Omi O in there. Probably between 5 projects. I'd probably be putting 2K in 5 different projects. Sailing says, domes make it a metaverse. Yes, I do think they'll be the first metaverse type project that catches traction. This is Cornucopias. So I do have a whole ton of their land, and I do have a bunch of their token. I'd like to see them prevail, work for a company that did structured notes with protection. It's very similar to Bumper's idea, just on the crypto side, not with stocks. Are you in contact with Bump team? Can you try to get a word from them and share it with us? I have reached out to them, and they haven't responded. I see that they saw the message. Actually, last they responded to me was in February, and they said everything's going good. And then I've since reached out twice and had no response. So what's up, Randy? Good to see you. Josh Ryan, which 5 projects would I diversify across? I just loaded up a bunch more on Definity, so obviously that would be one. It probably, for me and what I like, for my risk tolerances, it would be more Omi, it would be more Definity, it would be more DevvExchange. Let me look at where Cornucopia's price is, because I'm price sensitive. And so when everyone else is buying because it's gone way, way up, I'm like, shoot, I missed. Yeah, Cornucopia is at 1.6 cents. Amazing deal. Right back to its bear market lows. Not quite at its full bear market lows. It did dip down to 1.1 something cents, but still at 1.6 cents. It's a good deal. So Cornucopias probably be in there. And I don't know. Good question. If I were diversifying across 5, maybe Fios from there. Maybe, I don't know. It depends on the person too. Like my wife, what did she just buy when she put some money into crypto? Well, she put some into XRP because I told her, well, I asked her, I said, what are your goals? When is this time frame that you're looking for? And she's like, I don't care. Sometime in the next 10 years. I was like, okay. I don't know. In that situation, I'd probably put some into XRP. Most of my stuff is not in XRP because I'm looking for this bull run specifically. I'm looking for the next coming 5 months or 6 months, or maybe it takes longer than I want and it's 6, 7, 8 months. But that's my window of time now. XRP still within that window of time could have 100x. It could have 500x. Would that be crazy? It'd be crazy and not crazy at the same time. It is going to be the new rails of the financial system, and most people don't realize that. That's why I told my wife XRP. I was like, I don't know when all these financial rails come together, but in the next 10 years, I think it comes together, and I think XRP is those financial rails. And as long as you're willing to hold it for at least 10 years, I think you'll do amazing. At least that's what I would be buying. And the other thing she bought was Flow. Why? Because she could simply get a Coinbase account. She had less risk. You know, it's harder to get hacked with your Coinbase account than it is in other ways. It's so easy to get your DeFi wallet hacked. If you're new to this, you'll end up like downloading some malicious content or agreeing to a malicious contract. She is definitely not enough crypto friendly enough that I wanted her doing anything other than Coinbase, because I didn't want to hold her stuff. I didn't want to manage her stuff for her. I did that back in 2020 for her, but this time I just wanted her to have it. That way she could think about it, look at it, do whatever. MK is a decent project. It's not in my top 15 for sure, but I really like them. It's a unique blockchain gaming project. I haven't looked at the price. I really like the team behind it, and what they're doing is different than what most everyone is doing. Oh man, they were just at a penny and now they're at like 2 cents. I don't know. I'd wait to see if they come back to a penny. Have you looked on the decentralized science side of crypto? I have. In fact, in the private community, we did a video a week and a half ago, our Friday chat, and we talked about specifically decentralized science, and specifically RSC was criminally undervalued, in my opinion, and I said so, and it since has gone like up 80% since then. So I think RSC, I really like RSC and Genecoin. RSC is like the leading one, and though it's gone up a whole bunch from what it was, it's still fairly cheap. It's just not cheap like it was. This is Research Coin. It's got a market cap of 57 million. It's really one of the leaders in decentralized science, which I think is a narrative that really goes crazy in the bull run. And this is one of my favorites, one of the leaders in the narrative. It's backed by the right people. I think this one's going to be a monster. Another one that's a little bit more risky, but also could be a monster, and its market cap is really low, is Gene Token. Follow Doctor of Stuff has done some videos on that one. I would check it out. IMS, not your keys, not your crypto. I know. Well, yes and no. Sometimes when people are so new and they like download their keys, they don't know what the hell they're doing and they're going to lose their keys. And then it's not their crypto again either. So you're just juggling different risks than if you go with like a Coinbase account. It's like, could Coinbase fail and you don't get access to your crypto? Yes. People that are brand new to crypto don't really have any idea that's going on. They're just not ready for really custody of their own keys, knowing how to have like a wallet, an offline, a cold storage wallet that they have backups to the keys, but those keys can't easily be found. Like, it's just a mess they're not ready for. And so some kind of centralized system, like the truth is it'll be centralized systems that bring most of the people to crypto. Why? Because they're just not, they're not like crypto purists. Most people that come in will just be newbies and they'll want systems similar to what they already know. And they'll come in, bring their money in there. Some of them over time will learn how to take custody of their crypto so that they really can control their future. But most will just come in and use something like Coinbase or Binance or something else. Yeah, Spores is a great one. Yeah, they're still continuing to launch lots of projects. Yeah, I think the founder's done a good job. I don't think they have a lot of overhead. They make a little bit of money from launching projects. So I think their tokens, number one, that they're going to survive into the bull run. And number two, their token is massively underpriced. So let's check it out. I haven't looked at the price. Spores Network. Yeah, that's an amazing price. Amazing. Market cap is $225,000. That means if it goes to a $200 million market cap, that is almost 1,000x from here. If they go to a $22 million market cap, that is 100x from here. So do I like Spores? I do. I've done several interviews with the team. I like it. Would it be in my top 5? I don't know, but it would probably be in my top 10, especially at this price. I know, $225,000 market cap. Isn't that crazy? That's what happens at this point in the bear market. It's crazy. And some of these things I saw in 2017, one pop off from a like a $300,000 market cap to like $120 million market cap. Yeah, that was like 4,000x or something. It was crazy. Penguin says, how do you think this bull run will play out? What do you think will go next? Bitcoin, ETH, utility coins, NFTs, how long will it last? From when to when? Bullish, bearish, realistic scenario. Realistic is interesting because it'll definitely play out differently than you think it will. And even though I've been following this like so much since 2017, I can't predict the future, right? So there's just playing the odds. And what I know is I don't have to know exactly what order things will play out, and I can still make amazing gains. If I knew exactly what order things would play out, I would be playing it differently. I would be holding Bitcoin or ETH, understanding exactly when they were going to take off, and then I could roll it at the perfect timing into the altcoins, and I could amplify my gains. I tried to do that in 2021, and it worked in some cases. Bitcoin took off, and then I was able to roll some of that Bitcoin into some of my favorite altcoins and made some gains there. But one of my biggest holdings that I wanted to hold was Cardano, and Cardano did a 14x while Bitcoin did a 2.5x. And if I had just had that money deployed into the altcoins more in, all my altcoins like I had planned, I would have held even more Cardano. And so I didn't gain any traction by playing it that way. So this time I'm just positioned in the altcoins that I like, and I'm just waiting till they play out. I'm not trying to guess. Well, I can guess at which one will run, but it's probably not going to play out that way. And I'm set up in a strategy that I don't have to be right on that to still have massive gains. So will Bitcoin probably run before the rest of the altcoins? Yes, I think Bitcoin goes through a short squeeze in the coming 4 months, and it breaks 150, 180, and then it goes higher from there as people FOMO in. And then all of the crypto space goes absolutely berserk. But what if it takes 7 months? It could. What if it takes 8 months? It could. So I wouldn't put specific time horizons on your expectations. I don't have them. I'm just out of curiosity making guesses and content to wait and watch how it plays out, because I'm definitely not going to put timing constraints on myself. That's where people go wrong. They're like, if this doesn't play out by November, I'm out. It's like, okay. Well, when you make those kind of timing constraints, it's funny how it'll happen 1 month after you washed out. So I'm content to hold this till mid next year, late next year, if necessary, but it's going to run way before then. But if we entered World War III and nuclear bombs were going off, it might not be till late next year. Is it likely that we're going to enter World War III and all these nuclear bombs going off? Not likely. So the more likely scenario is later this year, it goes crazy. Thanks, everyone. That's all we have time for today. Thanks for joining us. Love you guys. Enjoy this wrap. You know what it's all about. And if you haven't joined the private Patreon community, you're missing out. Now, if you just join the Patreon, you don't then connect up the Discord, you're doing it wrong. The Discord is where all the conversation is. So that's really what you want.
Came into this space chasing all of the gains, chasing the pumps and all of the hype trains. But like in life, right before you could, was told to buy when it was pouring like a rainmaker should. Buy when it's down, don't chase the boats that I miss. Cause I'll always make the time in mind. I stick the one out cause I'm patient like that, and I'll wait for the right time. I sell when it's high, I buy when it's low. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm just a rainmaker running the show. Calculated investments, I don't leave with my heart. The principles are simple, they're leaving a mark. Buy when it's boring, just gotta be smart. Sell when it's hype, like all the channels they pump it. That's when I was selling the parabolic and dump it. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm a rainmaker, making my own start. I'm with the future, learning the past. Makes the time fly by, years going so fast. The game plan is mine, I'll own it now. When I reach the top, haters asking me how. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love. And I follow what I learn, not relying on luck. Time is never better, but time like the present. This next 5 years is a gift and it's feeling like heaven. I'm committed to learn, to study and to know that nothing comes easy, but with knowledge the game show. Sticking out this wrong cause soon will come a bear market. Learning and growing, and when it's slow will be the target. Naysayers come out, Bitcoin is dead. The massive decreases can get to your head. Sticking around, the time is better. I'm strong like that, I'll let the others be predators. 2 years time, the ball will bring back the gains. That makes it worth the effort cause here comes the rain. So let's go rainmakers, let's make it all happen. Let go of the hate, let the haters be cracking. I'm here for 5 years, let's do this together. the time is right, the time could be better. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm a rainmaker, making my own start. I'm with the future, learning the past. Amazing time fly by, years going so fast. The game plan is mine, I'll own it now. When I reach the top, haters asking me how. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love. And I'll follow what I learn, not relying on luck. Haters be hating, the time to slow down. Addressing what they say when I'm wearing my crown. They're chasing green candles like someone who was new. I got a vision that was bigger, helping me to push through. I'm still human and sometimes it is rough, and that's what makes me special, simply I stay tough. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love. And I follow what I learn, not relying on luck.